Hello, my name is April and welcome to the Yoga Ranger Studio and welcome to your practice. Today we're focusing on restorative to breathe more deeply. So we all can acknowledge that having a really deep breath can do so much for your day, for your health, for a little bit of everything. Our breath is so very important. And opening up the space for that breath, opening up the front of the chest, the back side of the heart, the side body, allowing your lungs to expand all the three-dimensional aspect like a canister can really help you get a really full, rich breath and use the full capacity of your lungs, which research shows we don't. We use probably about a third of our capacity on a daily basis. If you've noticed when you get really upset, you tend to tense up and focus more of your breath right in the center of the chest, kind of the smaller portion. And this makes you more tense, kicks you into that sympathetic nervous system where you are fight or flight. So using the breath to calm and soothe can be really helpful, and having the opening to breathe more deeply is really important. So a couple of props that we need. Restorative always requires a few props, but you can make do with what you have. If you don't have a bolster, you can use a couple of pillows off your bed. A block, if you don't have a block, a couple of books will work, and a blanket. I always suggest a blanket underneath just for your comfort, but that's always an option. But a second blanket or beach towel for a couple of our poses to make us a little bit more comfortable. So grab whatever you have around you to make you more comfortable. Even a couple of throw pillows might help in your practice. And we're going to start with an extended child's pose. So coming in to knees wider apart, you can use that blanket underneath to give you a little padding to space for the knees, and settling yourself down, taking that bolster out where just your wrists and your hands would rest on it. Now you can use the block to support your head at whatever height you want. If you want a deeper stretch and you don't want that block, you can always take the block out. But restorative was really about holding the poses for longer periods of time, just letting yourself sink into the surface. So if the block's too high, you can use a throw pillow underneath your head if that's softer. Don't worry about rotating your palms down completely. Let them land wherever they may. And just start to breathe. In our poses, we're going to be working with opening front and back and side, so we can breathe better. And this pose is a great example of that, allowing you to kind of open the back side of the body, the side space, letting the heart hang down. And start to take those longer extended exhales, helping take us out of the sympathetic nervous system, moving us into that heal and restore deep breaths. Just a few more deep breaths here. Gently start to lift your head first. Walk those hands back so the palms are on the bolster. And gently lift up. We move super slow in between our transitions between each one of these because we want to kind of be thoughtful of our movement. So we're going to shift that bolster back a little bit further. Take our block out in front. Just so we can use that again here. We're going to take sort of a crisscross here. Now, if you like to have something underneath your hips when you come down on this, you can. But we're going to take our chest over that bolster and we're going to crisscross arms in front of us and we're going to use the block for a little bit of stability for our head. So I like a little bit higher. You're going to take right in front of left, palms facing up, and then rest your head on the block. So walk those arms super wide. And just fill that space in between the shoulders, opening, expanding, relaxing. Breathing into the back side of the heart. Feeling the shoulders shift away from each other. Just about one more deep breath. And your next inhale, gently lift your forehead off the block. Pull those arms toward one another, and you're going to switch left in front of right this time. Just slide them back out. Forehead down to the block. You may need to adjust where the block is. Just a few more deep breaths. Start to lift your head back up to center. Pull those arms back in. Slowly press underneath your shoulders and shift back. Now we're going to keep this set up, but we're going to change just one aspect of it. Not a lot. We're going to roll the blanket up. We're going to use this for our head so we can take the side body and open it. Now our block is going to go up a little bit higher for our arm. You're going to come down onto your left side to start. Kind of lean that body over. So you want to keep your hips on the floor. Move that blanket over. Take your left arm in between the bolster and the blanket. You can tuck that blanket wherever you want to support your head. Take your legs wherever you want them to be. So it really is for you, totally up to you. And you're going to take that right arm up and over and kind of sweep it back behind you a little bit and then take it over and rest it on the block. So you may have to adjust the block a couple of times. But you want to feel this all down the side body. So up through the fingers, down through the side body to the waist. And just let yourself soften and relax into the bolster. Everything relax. If you need that block higher, take it higher if you need that. Or if you don't want the block at all, you can always take your hand to the floor. Breathe into that right lung, filling it up, clearing out the space, stretching all the little muscles alongside, those little muscles that are intercostals that go in between each one of the ribs. So you have more space for breath. See if you can soften your face, releasing any gripping and just surrendering to this pose. Breathing into all the space that you're making here. This is a good way to clear out some of the older, stale air in that lung. Really breathing into it, filling it up, expanding out to the side, the front, and the back. And then exhaling it all out. Taking a few more of those deep, cleansing breaths. Because doesn't everybody want fresh air in their lungs, right? Just a few more deep breaths. Notice if you're efforting any. In restorative, we don't use any effort here. We allow the pose to do the work. We use the props to support our bodies. Let them do the healing that it does. One more deep inhale. Exhale, start to walk that right hand back. You might have to kind of slowly pull it back. Take it back behind you just a little bit, resting it on your hip. And go ahead, press yourself up, and you're going to switch sides. Moving your block over just a little bit. Shifting that right hip down, right arm goes down out. Just the support for your head. And then take that left arm up and over. Find your block and find some support here. You can move your legs any way you like, or you can just keep them stacked. Maybe on this side you feel like the block is not useful. You'd rather just rest your hand on your head or on the floor. Settle into what works for you, and then just soften and allow. Allow everything to kind of sink into the bolster, the blanket. Use whatever props you have around you to give you that comfort. And let this pose do all the work. Just breathing into that left side body, feeling the rainbow arch. And exhaling, clearing out the air in there. And for these last few breaths, really breathing into that space, filling the lung all the way up, that left side, and then exhaling it all out, clearing all the air out of that lung, really re-oxygenating every single space in there. Slowly starting to walk that left hand in, taking it alongside your hip, rolling the shoulder back behind you just a little bit. And then bring that palm down, lifting back up to center. Take that block off to the side. We're going to set ourselves up for a little bit more relaxing here. So we're going to use this bolster for underneath our heels and underneath our legs. So this is going to be our bolster down here. This one is going to be a little bit higher up. So what I want you to do is to take a little less of a roll. So we don't want it as full because we want to put this underneath the shoulders. We don't want to do too much. So we're going to take ourselves, and makes me take a little adjustment. You can take that bolster underneath the heels. This upper one is going to go right underneath the chest so that the arms go on either side of it, arms out to this side. So if you want your heels to come down to the floor, you might want to move that bolster in just a little bit more and just take the knees wide, let them relax. So we're going to stay here for about 2 minutes, then we're going to shift that roll a little bit. This is reversing all the stuff that we do every day where we kind of hunch over for electronics and computers and the cold and the wind and just gravity pulling us forward and in. This is going to reverse that. breathing in belly, chest, collarbones, and allowing the shoulders to soften and open toward the ground, giving you more lift and space in the heart. And here there are a couple of options. If you want to move that roll down to your lower back or the curve in your back, and that's a space that feels more comfortable to have support, you can move it there, or you can lift up just a little bit, roll that blanket up a little bit higher so that you can use it for your neck. If you're using it for your lower back, you're just going to press your feet flat, lift your hips, and kind of move this blanket down a little bit, or move that roll down. Now, oftentimes you'll want less of a roll for your neck, so kind of find that supportive but not too much. And we're going to take the sides of that roll and just kind of wrap it around your head, just a little bit. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath. Here, if you've got a lot of light and you want to cover that light up, you can always take the blanket edge and flip it over your eyes. Some people like to have a little covering there, or you can start to wrap that even more and just make yourself feel a little bit more comfortable here and supported. Let your shoulders soften and your breath be deep and full and rich. Notice how much space you have to breathe here and how easy and effortless your breath is now that we've opened all these spaces. Notice with those deeper breaths how the body relaxes and settles, how you feel maybe a little bit more positive about your day, having the opening in the upper back and chest. Just about one more minute here, softening into the ground, feeling the support, feeling grounded with the supports that you have, the props, but feeling light in your breath. If you have more time to spend here and would like to stay here as long as you want in Shavasana. Using this time to recover and heal and restore. But if this is all the time that you have, go ahead and start to bend your knees and bring your feet on top of the bolster. Go ahead and roll yourself over to the right side. Take a couple of breaths on your right side. And gently make your way up to a seat, whatever that may be for you, using the props that you have if you would like. Sitting up nice and tall, rolling those shoulders back, lifting the heart, palms face down or face up onto your knees, lifting up through the core so you sit up nice and tall on the spine. On an exhale, drop those fingertips down to the floor. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way up. Bring your palms together, look up at your hands. Exhale, hands to heart. Peace and namaste. Thank you so much for joining me for this practice. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope your breath is really full and rich after this. Spending a little time to open the side, the front, and the back can really help your breath expand to the spaces that it needs to, and your breath can help your emotions, help you manage your day, definitely help you manage stress in a big way. So great to be more proactive than reactive, and your breath can help you be exactly that. It's also really great for your body to get really good oxygenation, as we all know, right? If you enjoyed this practice, please like and comment down below and subscribe. Click that subscribe button over to your right-hand side and join me each Thursday for brand new videos every single Thursday like this and many more. I hope to see you again here. If you would like to see more videos like this and a whole collection of them ad-free, with some extras in there, journaling, journal prompts, some specialty, some longer videos that extend past the 60-minute marker, you can join me at the yogaranger.vhx.tv. That is a member site, and that offers you monthly practice playlists as well as calendars, journaling, live calls, lots of little extra things going on there. There's a free 7-day trial, so 7 days for you to check it out and see if it's for you. If it doesn't work for you. So a great way to kind of test it out and see if it's going to be what you're looking for. If not there, would love to see you here again on YouTube. Have a wonderful day.